still come back to it.
Welcome back. It's been a while.
We've been waiting for you, Coraline. My name!
You probably think this world is a dream come true. But you're wrong.
Hi, I'm Sophia Jessica, and this is Angel, and welcome to the fan carpet.
Well, I really treasure having been a part of a few projects that seem to have crested through different generations, and Coraline specifically, I'm just so proud to be a part of it. I consider it to be a masterful piece of art, put together by many, many, many artful technicians, and I'm just really proud to be a part of it. I think it sparks, joy and passion in people that relate to the uniqueness of it, the artistry of it, the fairy tale-ness of it. I know people dress up as characters at Halloween, and they have since the movie originally came out, and I'm just excited for it to find a whole new generation of people. Well, I do think, I'm going a little bit all over the place with your question, but I do think that in general, mothers are hard on themselves. You know, they demand perfection of themselves, and obviously none of us can be that, nor should we have to be. But I do think society sort of puts that image out there, and I think it's a lot of pressure. And so I like that part of this story, that you have a mother who is really sort of at her wit's end and exhausted and overwhelmed, but it doesn't mean she doesn't love her daughter, and it doesn't mean that she's not trying to provide the best space for their family. And I think that is the lesson that Coraline learns, that sometimes what you have doesn't appear to be what you want, but in the end, when you take it away, it actually really is. Well, working with Henry Selick was a dream. He really guided me from the place of wanting these characters to feel and seem real, which is where we headed at it from. But it's not unlike an acting job where you would be using your face and your hands and your body. You're still approaching it from the point of view of, who is this character and what do they want and what do they need? And that was sort of how I separated the three moms. Well, it's beautiful. I think it's a film that has used 3D not as a gimmick, but as a world that you get to be invited into. And I think that's quite unique. Well, I think that it's one of the best animated films ever, particularly stop-motion animation. But it's a story about a few things. I guess primarily it's about a young girl and her sort of curiosity, her sort of seeking what maybe a place where she doesn't appreciate what she has, and it takes her on this adventure where she learns a lesson and ultimately has to save the day. And I think she's a brave, independent, wonderful character that I think girls can be inspired by. But I also think it's a story about family. It's a story about that really touches on what it's like to be a parent, to feel frustrated and be struggling but still love your child, and so I think in the end it's a family story too. It definitely pushes the envelope of scary. I know some people who were 7, 8, 9 when they first watched it, and it was definitely memorable to them, but in a good way. And I don't know, I'm really honored to be a part of it. Thank you for asking. It's such a good question. I did approach it as 3 different roles. The first mother, the real mother, I in a way was the most difficult, because I think I had to approach it as a very grounded mother, a very heavy mother, a mother that, like many mothers, is overworked, exhausted, frustrated, at the end of her patience, but still loves her child. And I think mothers in general, we want to be perfect, so it isn't so pleasant to embrace that side of us when we've really just had it. But that's kind of the place I had to be in to approach that mother. The other mother is perfection. You know, she's much more airy. She's not reactive because everything is in control and everything is perfect and as it should be, and that's kind of her space. And it isn't really till you get to the third most evil mother, which I really thought of as, you know, when you realize you're really not going to get your way, and that not getting your way means death. And that was the energy of that kind of evil source of storytelling. And so that's sort of how I approached the three of them. And with Henry Selick as a director, I think his biggest overall note was to always keep it in reality and, you know, keep these people real. And so that's what I tried to do. Well, I think you can't help but really see it in its finality as a piece of art. You know, I look at it and I think this should be hanging on a museum wall like the Mona Lisa, even though it's a movie. But it's just masterful, you know, and certainly not because I'm in it. It's because of the artistry it takes to pull off a visual film like this, and so I think of it as art, and I think if there's any ounce of you that's interested in celebrating art, you have to see this film. I guess I didn't really, I mean, I thought I'd be alive, but I didn't think I'd be here in London. I guess I never really thought about it, but in a way I'm not surprised, because I do think in hindsight maybe Coraline was a bit ahead of its time, being that it was a little bit dark and edgy for an animated film, and I feel like now we're in a society where I just feel like people are a little bit more open to that way of storytelling. I'm not surprised by the fact that the artistry itself, the stop motion animation, has lasted, you know, that it's still relevant, because it's a very specific art form, and Laika has executed that extremely well. And Coraline being their first movie, they did it really well. I mean, it was at its time nominated for an Oscar. I think it should have won. Well, I just think, I think the story is a classic fairy tale in that, you know, it's sort of be careful what you wish for, you know, not being grateful for what you have until you don't have it, and then you realize what you're missing. I mean, those are very classic story points that people use, and I think they're classic because they're the truth, and they're a common human frailty that we have, which is to not understand the significance of what is right in front of us, and always desire to have something better or different, and the lesson in that. And so I think when you have a classic base like that in your story, then it's not surprising that it lasts. The recording goes on a very long time. I'm not sure if fans are necessarily aware of that, but it's really over years that you're recording. You know, I remember the first time, which was not when I first started recording, it was a ways into it. The first time I got to go up to the actual studio in Portland and see the sets and meet the people knitting the little sweaters and moving the little dolls around. And I mean, you're just blown away by the artfulness of it. That was really quite an experience. Well, I hope that it finds the eyes of a whole new generation of people that either weren't old enough to see it when it came out, or weren't born, or just, you know, for some reason it missed their radar. But I also hope that the people who were original fans get re-excited by, you know, getting to see it on a big screen. I really do think it holds up. I saw it again a couple of months ago for the first time in many, many years, and I think my big takeaway was the word wow. I mean, I know it's a very small word with only 2 letters, but it's really an unbelievable execution of many, many artists putting together a lot of effort and a long amount of time to exact this beautiful fairy tale. Well, gosh, I've never really thought. There was the choo-choo train that went around with the soda,
That was pretty
the
cool.
smoothie. That was pretty cool. I think it's more an opportunity to think about when you are dissatisfied with what you have and why. And usually you shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? And in Coraline's case, I think reflecting back on it, I think she realizes, oh, I made a mistake. So I think for me personally, I sometimes try to approach life with being grateful for what I have instead of thinking about what I don't have. Oh, that's just so hard. I mean, I love everything from the little Scotty dogs to the trapeze ladies, to the mice. Oh my gosh. Oh, and the cat. I mean, maybe the cat. I love cats anyway. I'm going to go with the cat.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram for more content. Bye for now.
Hold on. We aren't finished yet, are we?
Do you want to stay in your buttoned-up world forever? Or maybe you're brave enough to go back.
You show what you can do. I hear a siren. Maybe you were wrong about me. I'm dangerous and still. Why don't you give me a sign like the sea? Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe. A London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.